This past week, autumn arrived. It also was a week where we had 95-degree temperatures, and also ended up with one night where my furnace came on. So, yeah, autumn must be upon us. So, let's talk a little bit about real estate in central Iowa on week 38. Welcome to the show. My name's Les Solgrove. This is Simply Des Moines and Via Realtors weekly market update, where we talk about what happens in the Des Moines and Central Iowa real estate market on a weekly basis. And this week we are talking about new construction single-family homes. A couple of weeks ago I talked about condo townhomes in the new construction field. Well, this week we're going to focus a little bit more on new construction, and then next week it'll be end of month as well as end of quarter. We'll probably split that up into two shows, so hopefully you'll join me on both of those. So let's get started here for the last week coming up here. We have one more week basically, I guess, the next to the last week here of September for 2022, week 38. We are continuing to see new home inventory rise and take up a larger percentage again of our inventory. We're currently at 1,097, and new existing homes are at 1,192. So the existing homes are still kind of ahead just a little bit, but new homes have kind of seen a little bit of a growth spurt there. Also, we have been talking each week here about the months of inventory of all homes for sale. We're at 2.6 months of inventory, so we're probably within a week or two of turning that top little bar in the middle where it says the market favors. We're going to turn that into all properties is going to be a balanced or an even market here in probably 2 or 3 weeks if things continue the way they are, because that's a 3 month or more of inventory. 3 to 5 months of inventory would be considered a balanced or even market. So just kind of an interesting time we're heading to here. So let's hope that sales continue as we move into fall, and there's no reason to think it won't. The market is just going to be a little bit different as we move into the new year here. So one thing that happened this week, we did cross the 12,000 closed sale milestone on September 23rd earlier in the week, and this time it only took 22 days to go from 11,000 to 12,000. I will tell you that is the third slowest week or period it took so far this year. The first 1,000 and second 1,000, both because those are basically coming off of December sales, are typically a longer period of time to hit that 1,000 milestone. But we are up to 22 days for us to hit that milestone, where we were at 19 days a year ago. And I think we're going to probably see that number just kind of creep up a little bit. The green line you see there represents 2021, and I think 21 days throughout the rest of the year in last year was kind of the high, and we're already at 22 days to hit 1,000 milestones. So will we hit 17,000? I don't think so. We're probably gonna hit 16,000, but how far into 16, I don't know. We're really can't see us having any chance of hitting 18,000 closed sales this year, just because of the number of homes in sale pending. So anyway, we'll continue to watch that as the milestones go by. So, all right. So as I mentioned earlier, the show this week is focusing on new homes, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the highs and lows, mostly highs, of new construction. And this is the Excel spreadsheet grid that I use every week, and every day when I enter data into the MLS data sheet here. And I'm just going to explode this little bit here in the middle of that bottom part where it's in green and kind of a red area. What green means is that whenever a green cell pops up, it's automatically formatted if it's the highest number or the highest price for year to date for the current year, and then the red or that kind of a pink color happens to be the lowest year to date number. Well, what's kind of interesting, and we don't see this very often, or I don't see this very often, is we had three sections within the new single-family new construction category that has basically hit year-to-date highs. Number one, the number of homes for sale in the new construction inventories are 1,097 homes for sale. And at the lowest point, we'll see that here in a second. But the 1,097 for the number of homes for sale in new construction single family, we're also at the highest price point of new construction single family so far this year at just over $410,000. The single family new construction pending sales is down to a year-to-date low of only 458. And we'll, like I say, we'll go into these a little bit more in detail. And then this median PP, that's pending price, or the price at pending. It's not necessarily where it's sold at, but that's the price at which the median price of the properties at the time the home went under contract. Now, obviously, new construction builds in add-ons and additional finishes and things like that. And that's one reason why when you see the list price at 410 and the median price at pending a little bit higher, the sale price is probably going to be even higher than that, because they're adding in, at that point, they're adding in, basement finish, add-ons, whether it be additional square footage or additional trim or something to that effect. So let's kind of take a little bit closer look at these numbers and what they mean here. So this is looking at the number of new construction properties on a daily basis from January through today, compared to the same period last year. The black line, of course, on these graphics always indicate it's last year's numbers. And you can see that we've just, since May, we've actually just continued to increase and grow our new construction inventory over last year. We were above it for the first part of the year, but it was kind of just mirroring it by maybe a couple of hundred or 150 or so listings over the previous year. But man, once we hit May, it just started to take off. And the inventory that's, it's we're either getting more new construction or it's just not selling as fast. And I think it's the second category. I don't think we've added that many more new construction properties. I just think that we're not keeping up the pace. So at 1,097, what that looks like here, and we're going to compare this to the pending sales as well. There you can see on the left, the maximum number so far to date is 1,097, and that's where we currently sit. And at one point in time, the fewest number of homes we had in the new construction category was 803. So we've definitely grown by, almost 400 new construction properties from a swing of 803 to 1,097. The one that's kind of a little more, makes me a little bit more nervous, is the number of homes in sale pending. And you can see there at 925, that was our maximum. But if you recall that grid sheet I showed you, the pink color or the red color cell was at a year-to-date low of 458. In fact, that's more than half of the number of our maximum number of homes in sale pending for the new construction category from earlier this year. So we've certainly trailed off a pretty good chunk on the new construction for sale pendings. We talked a little bit a minute ago about median list price at currently at 410. We had gone quite a while there, staying right around that $400,000, right at $400,000 price point. And then as we moved into late August and early September, I don't know if it was price increases. I don't think so, because it didn't seem to really jump, except for a couple of points there. It didn't really seem to jump overnight, maybe a few. But we're currently at 410.5 is our median list price. So that's a pretty good jump up, where the year-to-date low is under 375,000. That median price at pending, remember that was that number that of the pricing of the properties at the time they went under contract, is even higher at 430, just over 430,000. So here's kind of that same graphic we saw before. 410 is our year-to-date high, and we're at that right now. 369,990 was the low, and the pending price, the median pending price, again, is at that 430, where at one point we had 382,778. So it's pretty consistent that the minimums kind of kept pace with the maximums. I mean, minimum on the list price was lower than the pending price, but you can just kind of see that's the path we've kind of taken this year. The number of homes in sale pending, again, at that 458 count, which is our year-to-date low, that we have really not surpassed last year's pending counts really at any time throughout the year. We kind of touched it in January and maybe that first week of February there, but for the most part, we've been well under the sale pendings from 2021. And, that's the one that's probably making the builders most nervous there. The closed sales year to date, we're currently at 1,865 new construction single-family homes closed. And there for quite some time, from about March on, it looked like we were going to just really outsell and outclose 2021. But you can see that sales have softened and closings have slowed to the point where we're really almost right back to where we were at the same time last year. The total number of homes that were closed in 2021 that were attributed to the new construction single family category was 2,630. And, to do that, we need about 750, 770 more sales in 2022 to equal 2021 sales. And remember, we've only got about 458 currently in the sale pending bucket. So it's going to be tough because, a home that goes under contract right now in new construction is probably not going to close now before the end of the year. So, that's the big question is how far are we going to miss our numbers here as we go to the end of the year. So kind of a short show this week. It's next week we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the month of September. That'll be out before next weekend show. And then we'll probably follow up the following week with end of third quarter as well, because those numbers look just a little bit different than they do when you compare them to the end of month stuff. So with that, thanks again for joining me. I just want to say, make sure your furnaces are working and your air conditioners working, because we probably will have to use both of those as we move forward here. So again, thanks again for joining me. We'll talk to you all again next week. Be safe and leave any comments below. And of course, as always, be sure and hit the thumbs up button if you find this material worthwhile. So talk to you again. Thanks.